In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Great Vault when it comes to DragonFlight Season 4. Now, this should be the last season for DragonFlight. What I'm going to be specifically covering in today's video is the PvP side of the Great Vault. And while I'm at it, we're also going to give a look and go over a little bit about the next expansion called The War Within for PvP when it comes to the Great Vault. So let's jump in and give this a look. Hello folks, and welcome to a Wizegamer video. Where in today's video, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking at this new addition that they made to the PvP side of the Great Vault for the final season of DragonFlight Season 4. From my understanding, players are really excited about this new addition, which has given us more options. Now basically, until now, the only players that were able to get anything from PvP and the Great Vault is if they did rated PvP. That's right. So if you were in an actual rated battleground team, or you had a arena team. Just doing casual PvP, like just regular random battlegrounds, did not reward you from the Great Vault. So then what is this addition? Well, now we could use, or by participating on a weekly base, the Battleground Blitz Brawl. That's right, so each week as you do Battleground Blitz, you will be accumulating honor points. And for anybody who doesn't know, Battleground Blitz Brawl is more of a casual flow. So in other words, you could just solo queue for this. This is not considered a rated RBG or rated battleground. Now the next thing I want to go over is that many of you guys are probably wondering, well, what's the breakdown of this? Like, if we win a battleground blitz, if we lose a battleground blitz, what's the difference when it comes to our weekly Great Vault reward? Well, to be truthfully honest with you guys, I don't have the answer to that. I've looked up and down and I could not find the answer to this. And again, this just came out not too long ago, so I've only done it 1 week so far. So if anybody knows any information about this, please leave a comment down below. In this image, we see a description of the Great Vault. So there's 9 slots. The top row is raids, the middle row is dungeons, and the bottom row is PvP. So we're just interested in PvP today. So the first block is if you earn 1,250 honor points for your Battleground Blitz. Then the second block is going to be if you earn 2,500 honor points. And the last block, if you earn 5,000 honor points that week towards your Battleground Blitz reward. Now, I know most players know how the Great Vault works, but for players that don't, I'm going to go over that a little bit. So in other words, if you're able to do enough Battleground Blitz to fill up all 3 blocks here, each one is going to have a reward in each block. However, you can only pick 1 per week. So yeah, you can't come in here and get 3 pieces of awesome gear all in the same week. Now the Great Vault is 100% RNG, which means it's just going to put random rewards in there, which is a really good thing at the start of a season, but as you start accumulating conquest gear and all that, it may start giving you rewards that you don't really need. Well, they got us covered. So what they're also going to offer is if you don't need that piece of gear, you could pick, you're going to see it at the bottom, it's called the Aspects Token of Merit. So if you open up 1 slot for that week, it's going to give you 2 of these. If you open up 2 slots, it's going to give you 4 of these. And 3 slots, it's going to give you 6. Now, if any of you follow my videos, you know I suck at pronouncing names at times. So I'm just going to call this vendor Evans. And he is located in the main PvP room in Valdraken. So it's the same room that you're going to go and buy your conquest gear, your honor gear, all that good stuff, and it also has the target dummies. And he's the vendor where you're going to be able to exchange these tokens for different kind of items that he carries. So I am going to add a link in the description panel of today's video with all this information if you want to read more about it, or just pause the video here. Alright, so what we're looking at here is the first week that I've done these. The Battleground Blitz for the Great Vault. And I've only done maybe about 2 or 3 blitzes. Some were wins and some were losses. So we could see that indeed it did open up the first tile for me under or next to PvP. And then at the bottom we could also see that it rewarded me with the 2 aspects. Again, aspects token of merit. Now, if you want to know what kind of quality gear that this gives you, we could see that is among the tops. So this is equivalent to conquest gear. So we could see that this one gave me a necklace with the base item level of 493. This is also upgradable, 8 slots, which is going to jump up to the item level of 528 in arenas, battlegrounds, and other PvP events. So we could definitely see that the Great Vault for PvP right now for Season 4 is really good with Battleground Blitz, because that's more treated as a random brawl. And again, everything that I covered in today's video when it comes to this also still works for rated PvP. Now next up is we're going to take a look at the new expansion and what we could expect for PvP from the Great Vault for the War Within. Alright, so this part's going to be really short. The reason being is because for the new expansion, the War Within, the PvP slot or the PvP row for the Great Vault will be no longer. That's right, they are removing the PvP row from the Great Vault. Now, I can agree with their decision here. The reason being is because PvP was never really meant to be RNG driven at all when it came to gearing up. You pretty much get your points accumulated, you go to a vendor, and you pick out the specific gear and weapons that you actually need. This is one of the main impacts that always drew me towards PvP ever since day one I started playing World of Warcraft. RNG was more driven towards the PvE side of the game when it came to raids, getting lucky from boss drops, so on and so forth. And of course the same with dungeons and all the above, and doing quests. So what they did instead with that third line was that they made it world. And this is going to depend on the new Delvies that they're actually adding to the game, and also world activities. So of course I don't have any information on this side of the game yet because the game hasn't even been released. But it says here what they decided on doing to make it up to PvP players was they're going to give us now additional conquest points to make up from the lost activity of the Great Vault. So yes, to wrap this up, when it comes to the War Within, there will no longer be a Great Vault for PvP. And there we have it, folks. I hope this information definitely helped you. If you have any comments, any updates, anything that I missed, please leave a comment down below because we love to hear from you anyway. And always check the comments from time to time because that's the only way that I have to update information that I find out in future dates. So thanks again for stopping by and checking out Wizegamer. Feel free to sub up, do all those cool things, ring that bell notification down below. It all helps in supporting the channel and letting you know of more informative videos coming your way. So you folks have yourself a fantastic day.